This is Henry. I'm Henry. And a couple months back, I wrote a rant out of pure anger, ladies and gentlemen. But almost 2 months has passed and nothing has really changed, so stand back, because I'm about to vomit a verbose vociferation, ladies and gentlemen. In another enigmatic episodic diatribe I like to call Henry's Soapbox. Today's topic is bitching about the band council, or also known as, I know I said these rants weren't always going to be about the band council, but, or also known as, you get paid to do a job, so do it! Okay, so, I know that I said that I didn't want people to think that these rants were always going to be about the ridiculous antics of the Reserve Chief and Council, but this rant, which is just my opinion, is about the areas where I personally have observed the band council and their administration are completely failing the people. That would be accurate. And how we are all affected by their negligence and their complete unprofessionalism in the carrying out of their duties. So, basically a fancy way to say a big old bitch fest? Yes. Oh, I knew it! I'm gonna get some popcorn.
A few moments later.
Okay, hon, you go ahead. You bitch away. Bitch, bitch, bitch. Alright, so, basically the only mass communication that the band has with its members is a newsletter that comes out 4 times a year. Only 4? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes. Okay, go on. Okay, well, they only put it out 4 times a year, but they haven't put out the last 2 issues. It's April now, so it might be the last 3 issues. When I started scanning back issues for the Wood Mountain Lakota First Nations Facebook page I created, after a while I noticed that they just copy and paste a lot of the same articles from a couple years ago. That's fine, because even I didn't notice until I started actually scanning all of them. But seriously, how hard is it to make a newsletter? I just keep thinking, what would I do if I were in the same situation? Let's say I was in charge of making and printing out the newsletter, and nobody wanted to help. Okay, now let's do a totally imaginary, completely make-believe exercise. And let's say that I'm a lazy sack of shit. Wow, that's super hard to imagine. I know, but let's do it. And let's pretend that I frankly don't even want to make a newsletter. But I know that since we started this thing, we can't just not do it. And yes, people have been stopping me on the streets and at the grocery store and at the gas station. And they ask, Henry, it's been months. When are you going to do another one? You don't want to say to them, I'm too lazy to put out another video. I mean, newsletter. So, since I've decided I'm going to put the least amount of effort into this newsletter as possible, what would I do? Well, since I've already been copying and pasting my old articles, I'll go to the library or maybe online. Maybe online at the library. I'll find some new articles related to being Lakota. Maybe some recipes. Maybe some funny memes. Slap it together, print it out, and zam, zow, pow, wow, you got yourself a newsletter. Zam, zow, pow, wow? That's racist. My point is, apparently even this is an impossibly high standard to expect from our band administration. But, okay, so they haven't put out the newsletter. Even though in the last newsletter that they put out, they literally said, improving communication with our membership is a clear priority for Chief and Council. We will continue to do this in our quarterly newsletter. And then they never put out another newsletter. Well, yeah, but I mean, who cares? Because nobody needs to hear more lies and band propaganda anyway. Then let me tell you the real catalyst for this rant. Let me show you this. Our Chief and Council will get paid a base salary starting at $18,000, going up to about $35,000 a year. This was from quite a few years ago when Travis Ogle was Chief. I'm sure it's probably a little more now. But as you can see, this is just information that anyone can bring up from a quick Google search. Nobody seems to know the current information because they don't make that public. You want to hear what else they don't make public? Super important meetings, like the one on February 16th about federal changes in band membership. I only found out through my brother Ross the night before. And so now I feel inspired to just yell at a camera for a little while. because there's so much to yell about. But for the sake of the millennial attention span, let's just stick to 4 simple points. Point number 1. Band members deserve to have information about their reserve, the activities of their chief and council, and the state of their band's finances, and it should all be provided to them by the chief and council in a way that is public, transparent, and easy to access. We have none of that now. Point number 2. They don't tell us about meetings, period. Unless it's the annual summer gathering, they fail to mention anything from basic monthly health meetings to super important meetings like the one on February 16th. Point number 3. They rely on distributing important information through an outdated, incomplete mailing list that clearly doesn't serve all of our members. Since the newsletter is their only form of mass communication with their members, then they need to think of a way to provide this information that is easily accessible to all members. But they don't even post emergency contact numbers on the band hall or the band office. House on fire? Furnace breakdown in the middle of winter? Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters? And finally, point number 4. What do they even get paid for? We don't know! What makes each of them uniquely qualified for the positions that they hold? There is no list of job requirements. Last election, there was no campaign statements from any of them. There was no, if you vote for me, I promised you blah 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 blah. There was certainly no, I see the reserve as my home, so I intend to blah 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 blah. And there was certainly no, build that wall, build that wall, build that wall. Trump, 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 Trump. Anyway, I am going to rant a little bit more, but basically everything that I have to say has been summed up in these 4 points that I just mentioned. So don't feel bad if you want to stop the video now. But if your ears aren't bleeding from boredom, then let's continue, shall we? Some would say that $35,000 a year is actually not that much of a salary. But here's the thing. Let's say you take 2 weeks of unpaid vacation time a year, which would leave 50 weeks out of the year. And if you work a typical 40-hour work week, that averages out to about 2,000 hours of work each year. In this case, you can quickly compute the hourly wage by dividing your yearly salary by 2,000, which is then equivalent to an hourly wage of $17.50 an hour, or about $140 a day. Now let me talk directly to Chief and Counsel here and say, Chief and Counsel, we don't know what your job actually requires of you, but for $17.50 an hour, maybe you can make sure that the newsletter comes out more than just twice a year. Maybe you can tell us about meetings. Just tell us what's going on in the reserve and when. This is something a simpleton should be able to do.
Special Officer Goofy reporting.
But maybe you think it's not part of your job requirement to communicate with the band membership, and that it's the member's responsibility to come to you for information. Then that is just unprofessional, negligent, and lazy. And believe me, I should know. I'm a lazy sack of shit. I thought we were just pretending. Maybe you don't want to act professional because you don't like certain people. But you know, I've had to work with people that I hate. I've had chefs throw pans at me. I've had face-to-face screaming matches with other department heads. I've had to work with chefs that were drunks, that were cokeheads, that were doing lines off the line, and chefs that would spontaneously show me their junk.
Take a look at the log, bitch.
There are few things in this world more unsettling than going into the back to grab some condiments and ending up staring at a huge, steaming pile of cock.
Well, that's not hygienic. So if I can work with all these freaks and still put out a kick-ass service where we serve over 300 pretentious rich people in under 2 hours and not one thing comes back because everything is perfect, then you can put out a fucking newsletter. Is the secretary that you make do it too busy? Does she lack the skills? Then do it for her. Maybe you lack the skills. Then find someone who has skills and get them to do it. You stated that you were going to maintain this one-way communication through your newsletter. And it only comes out 4 times a year! A few hours of work once every 3 months. It's not much. It's not a standard I'm setting for you. It's a standard you set for yourselves. And you weren't even living up to that. But you know what? It's not just about the newsletter. It's this whole promising transparency thing. And then failing to do simple things like alert the band membership to meetings. You couldn't be less transparent if you tried.
What we've got here is failure to communicate. And I don't like it any more than you, man.
But maybe, just maybe, our chief and counsel are not completely incompetent. Maybe it could be that they're being silent on purpose. Why would they do that? Well, maybe they don't want to be accessible to their members. I mean, let's face it, even if they live up to their own promises of putting out the newsletter 4 times a year and only addressing the membership in public once a year at the annual summer gathering, it's still talking at the members, not with the members. At the annual general meeting, the agenda is already set. There is no room to allow introduction or discussion of concerns that aren't already scheduled that day to be talked about. So just like cockroaches enjoy the darkness, maybe they enjoy the apathetic silence from their band membership. Maybe one of the reasons they hate me so much is because I'm acting like a bright light, shining down upon them in their disgusting roach-like ways. You mean like... No, I was thinking more like...
You know what I'm talking about, you fucking cockroach.
Oh. Wait. Were those singing, dancing cockroaches? What movie is that from? Joe's Apartment. It's a classic. Classically hilarious. Anyway, look, I am just a heyoka. It's not up to me to be professional. I don't get paid to represent the band. I don't get paid to alert the membership of important things happening on the reserve. And I certainly don't get paid to maintain an online presence that allows the world access to a small window on a piece of prairie that I called home for over half of my life. That's just a passion project of mine. It just seems that right now, I'm the only one who has a passion for it. You get paid! Develop some fucking passion! At this point, I can only wish that they would have more transparent, easy-to-access, two-way communication with their band membership, just to spite me. I mean, come on, guys, don't you want to show me up? Don't you want to show the world how wrong I am? You can start small. Maybe instead of putting out the newsletter only 4 times a year, you could put it out once a month. Maybe instead of snail mail, you can use email. Show them what meetings the council members attended, what they were about, and how much it cost. Keep the membership up to date with different projects that are going on the reserve. And what professional contractors have been hired to carry those projects out. How much those cost. Let everyone know when the nurses' visits are each month. Let us know about the kids' camps that happen at the band hall. When they are, and what fun stuff the kids did at the last one. But it doesn't even have to be that specific of information. Maybe you can start a column about the different flora and fauna and wildlife on our reserve. Maybe you want to ask band members if they want to contribute articles. Who knows? It could include almost anything. Only your imagination is the limit.
Imagination.
So, again, come on guys. You get paid to do a job. So do it! Just keep us informed. Is that too much to ask? You act like being on the council gives you authority and power over the membership. You act like authoritarian dictators, making members afraid of losing their homes, their livelihoods, or their social status if they try to speak out against you. You hold basic necessities, basic information, and basic access to the reserve over members' heads like the sword of Damocles. You know what? I could go on and on and on. I don't want to talk about any of that. I just want some damn newsletters. And to be told about meetings. Seriously, is that too much to ask? No. You know what? I need some ice cream. From the band council? No, from the freezer, dummy. I got worked up. I need a little ice cream. Ah, yeah, that's fair. What kind?
All the kinds.
We have plain vanilla, pecan caramel crunch, or Oreo birthday cake. Ooh, Oreo birthday cake.
A few moments later.
Thank you. No, thank you for ranting. I really needed this. Well, I guess that's it. I finished ranting about the band council for now. And you can go back to your regularly scheduled program. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and push those buttons and stuff. You know, social media crap.